Hello there and welcome to another AKCP tutorial. Today we're going to be having a look at virtual sensors once again. This time we're going to be having a look at the SNMP Get within the virtual sensor interface. Now this basically allows you to monitor any SNMP compliant device. In this example we're going to be using a virtual sensor to monitor a temperature sensor connected to another AKCP device in the local area network. Now if you're not familiar with the use of OIDs, refer to the OID manual on the product CD. So let's go right ahead and jump in. We're going to select a port. We're going to go to virtual sensor port 3. And once again we're going to click the configuration button and we're going to choose SNMP Get and then click next. Okay, so we will actually change the sensor name here to let's change this to sensor on, and then we'll put the IP 10.1.5.11, and then below that we have our host. Again, this is our IP address of that unit, so that's 10.1.5.11, and then we have our SNMP community. Now this is actually set to the word public by default, but it's actually the same as your administrator password on your SP2. So in this example, the password for me would be Nick my sensors. Next we come to the OID. Now the OID for your particular sensor can be found in your OID manual, so I'll go ahead and paste that in there. Now you'll notice at the end here we have an X. Now the X is for the port number that your sensor is attached to. In this example mine is on port 1. However, with the OID, port 1 would actually show up as port 0, port 2 would show as port 1, and so on and so forth. So I'll go ahead and change that to 0, and also make sure that at the beginning of your OID you have a dot. Sensor style, we're going to switch that to analog as it's an analog sensor. We don't want to times the value, so we're going to leave that as it is. And we're going to change this one here from unit text to degrees. And we want that as C. Okay. And then we have our value range for the notification threshold slide bar from 0 to 100 degrees. I'm happy with that, so we'll click next. Okay, and now we've got our notification slide bar, something very similar to what you would see on your sensor settings. You can play around with the values by moving these blue arrows left to right, or inputting the value into the boxes below, and we'll go ahead and click next. And once again we now have our polling interval, which is how many times this will ping. So we'll change that to something a little bit lower. We'll have 5 seconds. We have the execute timeout and the retry there. Once again that's exactly the same as it was before, so we'll go ahead and click finish. And we'll just wait for the screen to load up. Sometimes this does take some time. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we have our sensor name, 10.1.5.11. At the moment it's in a low warning, so what we'll do is we'll just adjust our notification thresholds here just to bring it into a normal status. It's currently online. We also have our normal mode / advanced mode button. Again, the advanced mode options are exactly the same as what you would find in your sensor settings, so for more information on those refer to the manual or have a look at a previous tutorial on sensors. We have the rearm value, we have our graphing options there. We also have the sensor's URL. Again, rather than actually inputting a website, that would actually be the URL of this sensor, so it'd be http ://10.1.5.11, and that would actually then take you to the interface of that particular probe. Below we have the continuous time for the sensor to be in a new status before accepting the new status, exactly the same as you would find on all the other sensor settings, and you can input the values in here and alter them as you wish. And then finally at the bottom again we have our calendar options, where once again you can actually choose the hours in the day and the days in the week in which you would like the sensor to be to report or not report, and you can simply click in these boxes and choose which ones you prefer, and then we'll go ahead and click save. Okay, so now you can see that it's in green, it's in normal, and we've just set up a nice SNMP get there. So thanks for watching.